Alright, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. It is time for another 1 versus 1 AlphaStar commentary. Now, this isn't going to be another one of those normal commentaries. This is going to be one of those mystery ones. So basically, what we've got here is AlphaStar going to be one of these two players in this game, and we actually don't know which player that it is. Well, I do, but you guys don't. And I know that there's various certain tells and things that might necessarily give away who AlphaStar is. However, it's still a fun game for those of you that want to try and play it and whatnot. And yeah, we're just going to keep an eye on the match and see where it goes. I went back to the original overlay for this video, but I thought that it would just be good to go back to the usual one I use. I just tweaked it a little bit, so certain things were hidden, like the APM and whatnot, which are just easy, dead giveaways. So we have got ourselves a Protoss versus ZERG. One of these players is going to be the AI player, the other is going to be the human player. So we're going to keep an eye on if either of them does anything really odd that's necessarily going to completely give it away. Then you guys can let me know in the comments who you think the AI actually is. Now, of course, if you're one of the people who don't necessarily enjoy the AI videos, I'm going to put the race of who the AI is in the description of the video. And as I said before, I know there's various tells and things that give away which player is AlphaStar, which one isn't. And those are kind of unavoidable, but it's still a fun little game to do. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoy these kind of videos, if you enjoy AlphaStar or Starcraft in general, make sure to slap that like button, seeing as how we have got ourselves 3 question marks in the bottom right hand side of the map here, or where the names are. Let's try and hit 300 likes on this video. That would be absolutely amazing if we could blow that number away. And of course, if you're new to the channel but you aren't subscribed, or you're old to the channel but you aren't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe button, as it's completely free and we're trying to break 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Alright, so pulling up that production tab to actually take a look at what these two players are doing. We have got a Stargate opening going up against just a standard ZERG opening. The Protoss player being a pain with its probe. Going to be blocking that base there. And then the ZERG here, just doing standard ZERG stuff, expands to this location because the Protoss is being a jerk and is blocking the usual ZERG Expo route. But yeah, let's just take a look. Adept going to cross the map, shading back already, or shading towards the other hatch location, I guess. That gets identified. It's like, oh, look at that. And then standard stuff going on. Lings on the way. Actually, a few more Lings on the way for the ZERG player here, so we'll keep an eye on that. Just 10 Lings to shut down the Adept. Very healthy number to make sure that you aren't going to take any early damage. Looks like the Oracle is on the way for the Protoss player. All the while, the ZERG is just going to be producing Ling speed. Only 1 drone left in gas. Nothing too significant, but here comes those 2 Adepts. Being a bit of a pain, shading on in, asserting their presence against the ZERG here. So these Lings going to have to pull back to try and intercept these Adepts if they do complete the shade. Of course, Protoss rarely do complete that shade, as you just don't want to throw away those Adepts and let them die. So we'll lock onto this Oracle here that's going to be crossing the map, and we'll see if it's going to get anything done. The third base isn't in its usual location, so it might be a little bit tougher to actually get damage done at that, as usually the Oracle will fly on in on new repugnancy here. Over the third, then maybe to the natural, but in comes the Oracle. It's going to start dealing damage to some of these drones. Currently, we have seen 3 drones, 4 drones go down. Fair bit of damage getting done. That Oracle is going to have to escape, though, if it wants to keep its life. Fortunately, though, for the Protoss player, that Oracle does get out, getting 4 drones. Not a bad bit of damage at all. And oh, the Protoss player is actually going to be following this up with a Void Ray, which is a very curious decision here. If we take a look, because the ZERG is already going into a Roach Warren. Now, if this is an aggressive Roach Warren, the choice to go for a Void Ray is a very, very good one for the Protoss player. For now, that we do just see a Twilight and a Robo behind the tech for the Protoss player, which is, in general, just very safe, or just pretty standard at the expense of the third base timing for the Protoss. A second VOIDRAYS is on the way, so I was going to say it's not going to be mass VOIDRAYS most likely, however, it very well could be. So this Oracle is coming on in, going to be trying to get a few more drones. Looks like it does, and oh, just barely escapes on out there. So we've already seen 7 drones go down. The Oracle hasn't lost its life at all, so a nice bit of damage getting done by the Protoss player. Robo finishing up. Another VOIDRAY about to finish up. That's kind of nuts. The fact that this Protoss player has gone for 2 VOIDRAYs, that is a big commitment. We'll see if they're able to get anything done effectively, all the while the ZERG player running in with these Lings here. They eat a couple of Frisbee shots and then run away. I guess the VOIDRAY can protect the 3rd base of the Protoss. However, it can be a little slow when it comes to killing Zerglings. Charge is also on the way for the Protoss player, so this could be an odd build. We've got a Prism on the way. We have got We've got 4 more Gateways on the way. So is this going to be like some sort of odd charge lot VOIDRAY all-in we're seeing from the Protoss? Now this would be an odd build, all the while the ZERG is just going to be building Roaches here. We'll see if that's going to be enough to stop something like this, because of course Roaches are not very good against VOIDRAYs. However, Roaches are pretty darn good against charge lots, so it could really work out either way here. Alright, so let's keep an eye on what else is going to happen. There's already a Templar Archives and a Forge on the way for the Protoss player, so it's not going to be some big all-in. The Protoss does just seem to be macroing, but just wants every single tech at their disposal. So while the 3rd VOIDRAY pops out, we're seeing the Templar Archives go down, Zealots getting worked on in. The Protoss player is going to be moving out on the map, but you can't attack after going for a 3rd base, also investing in a Forge and a Templar Archives, they want to say. All the while, though, this ZERG is looking to come on in, and this ZERG is angry, so this Protoss player is all of a sudden going to be very, very glad he invested in these 3 VOIDRAYs, but that's a bit of a rough start as those 6 Zealots get picked off. The VOIDRAYs recall immediately. 2 Adepts are going to move on in to try and harass this mineral line. Roaches and Lings will defend this, though. The ZERG is kind of dilly-dallying back and forth, unsure whether to attack or unsure whether to pull back. The Prism is out on the map, but the VOIDRAYs have gone home, so it's going to be VOIDRAYs and Archons trying to defend this location. It's important to note, these Archons, this could be a mistake from the Protoss player, as these Archons are not actually able to get outside the wall, so it's a very good thing these VOIDRAYs are outside to do the dirty work. But once the Queens cross the map, the VOIDRAYs, I don't know if they're going to be able to stand up, because there's going to be Corrosive Bile, there's going to be the Queens that could potentially kill off these VOIDRAYs, and VOIDRAYs are very good, but Queens are also very good at anti-air. The fact that the Protoss has actually caught one of the Queens away from her sisters is very, very good for the Protoss, but I still don't know if the Protoss is going to be able to hold on here. In comes a lot of ZERG right now, crashing on the Protoss gates. The 3 Archons are waiting behind. They're able to cut the Lings down as they spill through the wall. The VOIDRAYs are actually dealing a lot of damage here before the Queens get into position to help out. The Queen's ever so slow. The VOIDRAYs are actually doing a lot of work here. However, there's simply so much ZERG here, so many Roaches and Raptors spilling in, and the VOIDRAYs almost eating Corrosive Biles. That could be very, very bad for the Protoss. Well, it looks like the Protoss is going to turn around, try and engage the Queens, but the Queens have transfused, and the VOIDRAYs, they took a little bit too much damage before engaging the Queens. So this is actually very, very bad for the Protoss, I feel. The ZERG is spilling forward, the main is compromised, the natural is compromised, the 3rd is sitting pretty with cannons and shield batteries galore, but the attack hit the natural, not the 3rd. So this is just very, very tough here for the Protoss. The ZERG is just rallying units non-stop behind this. Looks like there's a Zealot counterattack heading towards the ZERG's natural, but I don't know if that's going to be enough to turn things around. There's now 4 VOIDRAYs out for the Protoss player once again, so he might be able to clean this up. It's actually going to be close whether he will be able to clean these up. The VOIDRAYs, if they all consolidate, I think can probably take on the Queens, but there's simply so much damage getting done to the Protoss's main. The ZERG has yet to clean up these Zealots on their side of the map, but I don't know. This is just a bit of a tough spot here for the Protoss. He's taken so much damage. All the while the ZERG, he's just sitting pretty back at home. This is going to be very, very tough indeed here for the ZERG. Or, I mean, for the Protoss, pardon me. Like, there's nothing left, really, for the Protoss. Having to rebuild the Cyber Core with all these cannons and shield batteries to defend, I mean, that base is very well defended, but there's simply nothing to counterattack. The ZERG is on 4 bases, or going up to 4 bases now, and can just macro out of this, I believe. I'm all for trying to stay in the game building VOIDRAYS. We have seen AlphaStar completely dirt versus someone who just turtled on like 2 bases before, so it's a possibility that AlphaStar could still throw this game away. However, it's going to be a tall order for the Protoss to come back, so we take a look, we see the 4 VOIDRAYS going to cross the map, try and get whatever they can done. They're going to fly over this army and be like, oh, look at that, that's a lot of ZERG down there. But as far as actually getting damage done, I am not sure. It looks like that the ZERG did actually lose his hatchery at some point. Pardon me for missing that, but yeah, these VOIDRAYS, they pack a punch, but not enough to take down queens, which just are so strong. They don't take extra damage versus the VOIDRAYS, so it looks like the Protoss player is gonna try and attack in with these VOIDRAYS, with the High Templar. This could be a clutch play if he makes this work. I'm guessing he's gonna transfuse the queens while the High Templar are gonna move on in, take away the energy. There's the transfuses going down, so all of a sudden the queens can't help each other. That was a bit expensive in the form of the High Templar, but now all of a sudden the VOIDRAYS can move on in. Can they take on the queens? We shall see. The injured one being microed back. Good micro there from the Protoss. This one other VOIDRAY needs to make sure it's waddling all the way home, so it looks like the VOIDRAYS are actually going to kill all the queens. But take a look here, Ling's hitting the rebuilt natural. The third should be safe due to the sheer amount of cannons that are at it, but still, these VOIDRAYS, they did not get enough done, I feel. A couple more Zealots gonna warp on in for the Protoss player. The natural has stayed alive, so I mean, he's given it the good old college try. The Oracle is helping out against the Lings, but it's still so much, or such a tall order to come back in this game for the Protoss player. The ZERG still just making roaches, still just making Ravagers. The VOIDRAYS can do what they like, they can try and try, but even while there's minimal anti-air for the ZERG, and as there's quite literally no queens anymore, I still don't know how the Protoss is going to be able to win this game. We'll see though. I mean, the ZERG has actually just been grossly neglecting anti-air at this point in the game. There's just the Ravagers, really, as there literally hasn't been any queens built back at home, but... Or, I mean, yeah, there hasn't been any queens built for the ZERG, but back at home, look at this. The roaches can just charge on in, and all of a sudden it's just like, ah, that's no good. The VOIDRAYS are going to be recalled back. They should make it in time, but they aren't going to be able to save the Nexus. They can just shoot all day, and they will not kill all these roaches, as there's simply so many. These roaches in the main base will probably die, but the problem is there's still more roaches. It's just not going to happen for the Protoss, I think. I want to say I think. But there hasn't been a Spire or anything built from the ZERG just yet. So it's like a stubborn game here. The Protoss not wanting to die, the ZERG just not wanting to make any anti-air, but there we go. 4 queens at a time are now being built by the ZERG, and that should be enough to handle the VOIDRAY issue after 1 or 2 rounds, I feel. And the Protoss is still just on 1/3 base. This is just so bizarre. The Protoss is like, oh, I'll just build another base here, and it's gonna be fine. All the while the ZERG is just making 5 queens at a time now, building spores, taking up a 5th, 6th base, as a matter of fact. So I want to say the Protoss is dead. I'm a believer that feedback VOIDRAY attack was pretty sick, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make it happen again. The Protoss on 41 army supply, going to be moving on in for an attack. We'll see if he's able to make it happen. The High Templar with their Psystorm. I'm going to say there's always a chance with Psystorm, but I don't know. 17 more roaches are being made. 2 Stalkers are going to take on all these roaches. The Protoss is warped in more. There's a lot of Psystorm, but the problem is that is just a drop in the bucket as far as all the ZERG goes. More roaches are going to be coming on in. The VOIDRAYS are going to Prismatic Align, do what they can. The Queens are going to be getting engaged by the VOIDRAYS, but the VOIDRAYS don't even have plus attack upgrades, whereas the Queens do, so they're going to chew through the VOIDRAYS very quickly. And I think that's going to be GG. So ladies and gentlemen, make sure to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Join my Discord if you aren't, as we have fun times there. I do announcements and stuff. I recently added a replay submission section, so if you have any insane replays you want cast, put them in there. I might cast them. And then, of course, big thanks to those of you that do support the channel via the join button. And, of course, the victory for this game goes to AlphaStar, which just played at standard ZERG. The Protoss player, it was pretty blatant that he was the Protoss player, as these get easier and easier. But I do hope you, ladies and gentlemen, enjoyed this video. It was a sick High Templar VOIDRAY play versus AlphaStar. So that was pretty cool. But yes, thanks so much to everyone for tuning in. I'll see you next time. This has been LaughNgamez.